Dear comrades, dear friends, on Friday we all witnessed events that none of us will ever forget. Even for those of us who thought we understood the dark corners of fear and hatred that still exist in Europe, the sight of so dark of an evil shocked us to our core. The murder in cold blood of tens of people in Norway, 68 of them AUF activists, our friends and comrades. It is a loss, the pain of which we can barely comprehend. It is a pain almost too great to feel. Today, us here, thousands of young socialists and social democrats, as well all of our comrades at home across the world, in the youth movements and in the progressive political parties, today we are all AUF activists. We are a part of world's largest political organization, but we are also a family, and as a family we grieve together. It has been heartbreaking 3 days. We have been preparing for this festival, but our thoughts have been in Norway and our tears have been with AUF. What we have witnessed was terrorism in its clearest form. It was an attack against all of us. It was an attack against all of those who work to make the world a better place to live for all. But it was also an attack against our values, against a democratic, tolerant and solidar way of life and society. This may have been an attack conducted by one man, but it was the inevitable conclusion of an ideology of superiority, of hatred and of indifference to the value of life. Europe has seen before where these ideologies can lead people and societies, and the events of last Friday must remind us again that the price for justice, no less than freedom, is eternal vigilance. Terrorism and acts like this always give rise to many, many questions. Asking why is the first question we must all have faced. We have watched the rise of far right in our societies in the last decade. We in ECOSY and IUSY have worked hard to tackle the phenomenon and to openly discuss it in our societies. But not all, even in our own parties, have taken it or have been willing to face the gravity of it all. We have also seen rise in extreme views and thinking. We have seen polarization, growing exclusion, uncertainty and fear move from being at the margins of the society to the center of it. The politics of optimism and hope have been corrupted into politics of fear. And fear feeds upon fear. We have also seen the rise of populism and movements that have capitalized on this fear by providing easy answers of division, suspicion and support of inequality. At its worst, we have also seen these ideas discussed within our own movement. But the language of difference, of insiders and outsiders, of the worthy and unworthy, only creates environment it claims to prevent. In short, it cannot create unity, but only hatred. This is the hate that we saw on Friday, manifested in the most extreme, sickening way against young people with their lives ahead of them. Today, we are standing here together to express our solidarity and sorrow to who are lost or hurt. But we are also here to show the world that change is not just a hope, but a necessity. That we are not scared by extremism or terrorism. To remind the world that it is our right to gather, act politically and express our beliefs without fear of any kind. And that this is a fundamental right that needs to be reaffirmed today more than ever. And we are standing here today in order to send a political message. We must respond to terrorism with more, not less democracy, with more, not less openness, and with more, not less inclusion. We must rebuild the idea of our societies as shared projects. Fraternity is a feeling which comes not just from compassion, but from a set of relationships amongst the citizens who feel equal in power, in rights and worth. Justice accepts no dividing lines, and neither must we. And this sense of togetherness, when present in every citizen, is the closest thing we have to a defense against terror. We must go to the people, especially those who are afraid for their futures, those who are insecure and feel left out, and those who feel injustice and are desperate to find some groups or peoples to blame. And we are the movement who can provide the answers rather than feed these fears. The activists in AUF knew this. This is why they worked for. And despite the unimaginable price they have paid, I know this is what they will continue to work for. We must mourn now, but we can pay no greater honor tomorrow than to continue to defend the ideals that so many have died for. True political leadership comes not just through representing perceived wisdom, but sometimes from challenging it. We must, each one of us, be exactly these kind of leaders today. Thank you.